y'all doing? If you see paint all over my fingers, it's because I just got done doing my nails. And if you hear voices, that's because there's people upstairs. And yeah. Hey, my name is Haley and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video has been long awaited and I'm not even gonna give you excuses. 2020 has been it's been a year. It's been a year, to say the least. Just to give y'all a mini life update before we get into this video, I am now in college. I attend Georgia State University. I'm a freshman going into my second semester. I now live in the ATL, but currently that's not where I am. As it's approaching the end of the year, I didn't want to leave you guys empty-handed because I know in my last video I said that I was going to have a 1 week update and a 1 month update and 3 months update, but those things didn't happen and there's a lot of reasons why, but we're going to go over them in today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my breast reduction and how I've been doing these last 5 months. Yes, it has been 5 months. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out my last video, which will give you information on why I got my breast reduction, how I was getting it, how much my procedure cost, did insurance cover it. All of that is covered in my last video. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and pause this video. I'm gonna give you time. Go watch that video, then come back, okay? Did you leave yet? Okay, good. I don't want to make this too long, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So if you watched my last video, you would know that I got the anchor stitching and I got a free nipple graft. Well, what a free nipple graft and anchor stitching is usually they would go around the nipple, down the boob, and under the breast. Now, when that happens, they would take the nipple, pull it up, staple it to the upper part of the breast, and remove whatever needs to be removed and staple it back. And then you would have a nipple up here, you know what I'm saying? But because my boob was so big and it was elongated, my nerves and blood vessels were elongated. If they did it this way, my nipple wasn't going to survive and it was just going to fall off. So what they did was they did a free nipple graft, which is where they take my nipple, they cut it off, they sit it down, do whatever they need to do to my boob to make it look nice and perky, and then they put the nipple back on top. Now what this does is it saves the nipple, allows the blood vessels and nerves to grow back, and ultimately helping you because your nipple's not falling off. Now because of the free nipple graft, I did have some issues. Now an issue that he told me that really isn't an issue, but it became an issue, is that he said that I wouldn't have a feeling in my nipple, which I was fine with. You know, I didn't really have feeling in my nipples to begin with because of how elongated my blood vessels and nerves were. My nipple was barely getting anything. TMI, I know, but I'm just saying. So he told me that I wasn't going to be able to feel my nipple, basically. Well, that's not the case for me because I think I feel my nipple more now than I did before. Everything is just so sensitive. Like, I just feel everything. And when I was healing, it was the worst because my nerves were growing back in, so they would have shootings and you know, that would be shooting pain, but it wasn't really pain. It was just like a sensation. I was just like, weird. I don't know. I never really felt it before because, again, I didn't really have feeling in my nipples. So it was weird for me and I had a lot of adjusting to do. Another thing that I had a problem with was that my pressure point did, in fact, open up. Now, what a pressure point is basically every girl has a point in their boob where it is the heaviest. Now, because I got the anchor stitching down the front of my boob, your pressure point is at the bottom. And that is now exposed because I had the surgery. So because of that, in my first week or whatever, my first 2 weeks or whatever, I didn't really have an opening at that point. But as the third week rolled in, it actually did open up and it made like a scab almost at the bottom of my boob. Now, I've just seen so many horror stories with breast reductions and pressure points that I was actually genuinely scared when I got this. But my nurse gave me a lot of good advice. She said that for the first couple of days, you want to keep Neosporin on it, and then after that, just let it breathe. And that's what I did, and it healed up legitimately within a week's time. It was almost completely healed, and now that what's there is literally just a pink area, but it's actually starting to get smaller now as I roll into my 5th month of being post-op. Now, I did have another problem that came with the free nipple graft as well. At the bottom of my nipple, the way the stitch was, the lady had, when I was getting my stitches taken out, the way the lady had pulled the stitch, it felt like it had popped up a little bit. But I didn't really say anything because I just thought it was normal, and she looked at it and she thought it was fine. She just said put Neosporin on it. So I was like, okay, cool. As time progressed, that little piece that was flapped up died and fell off. So now there was a hole at like the bottom of my nipple and the stitch, the line where they cut me. I had this little opening that was the size of almost an ant in my boob under my nipple where that little flap had fell off because it died. And you know, that took a while to heal up, and I think that is like the ugliest parts of my boobs right now. Like, out of all the stitching and all the scars that I have, that is like the ugliest part to me because it's the most noticeable. I think it's the lady's fault who had took out my stitches. I think she genuinely did not know that it had lifted up. I just felt it and didn't say anything, so that was my fault on my end. But if that happens, let them know, because that can potentially cause a problem like it did for me. Now, the next problem I had with just the breast reduction in general is the itching that comes with a breast reduction. Why does nobody talk about, out of all the YouTube videos I have seen, nobody talks about the itching? Like, some people be like, yeah, it's just a little bit itchy. No, it isn't so itchy. Like, even now, I'm still itching where my scars are still like the most. Like, my scars are almost gone, actually. I don't know how nobody talks about this. Another problem that I had while my first month of my breast reduction is my period. TMI, I know, but you know, usually on your period your breasts get tender. Of course, that happens. That's a side effect of a menstrual cycle. But the problem is when you just got your work done on your breasts and they're already tender and they get tenderer. I don't even think that's a word, but I'm using it. Tenderer from your period. Oh, the pain. I have a really high pain tolerance though, so I'm not gonna speak for anybody else, but I was straight. I was good. I had no problems with pain at all until my period came. Other than those things, I honestly didn't have any other problems with my breast reduction. My scars are healing up pretty nice. Except for that little part where, you know, the nipple died or whatever, but it's actually healed up. It's just the scarring looks ugly to me. That's a personal thing, has nothing to do with anything else. If you are thinking about getting a breast reduction or have already gotten a breast reduction and is looking for some products, I have this for you. So if you need Neosporin, I would tell you to get the Scar Neosporin, the one that's yellow and gold. If I find a picture, I'll put it up here on the screen. That stuff works so well. It helps with the itching. It helped with my scar process, my scab process. It just overall, that's a great Neosporin for surgery in general. Like, that Neosporin is so good. I loved it. It was my holy grail during this entire process. Get that if you are getting a breast reduction or have already had it and having some issues. That is the best Neosporin. I definitely recommend that. The next thing I recommend is the Palmer's Skin Oil. That stuff worked magic. It works so beautifully. I had absolutely no problems using this, and it helped my scars heal so fast. I know people who are at the same point as I am 5 months in and still have fresh looking scars. I do not. I recommend the Palmer's Skin and Oil, especially for my black queens. It is so good. I've also heard things about bio oil, but I personally haven't tried it yet. I will be trying it, and I will update you guys when I do my year. So yeah guys, this is my 5-month update on my breast reduction. They look really good and nice. I know I showed y'all what my boobs looked before. This is how they look now. They looked really good, you know. This is how they look. There's scarring on the sides a little bit, but you can't really tell. They look amazing. I love them so much. They make me feel free, look good. I just feel so much more confident in myself and everything that I wear. It's just a blessing that I didn't know that I needed, you know? So all in all, I definitely recommend a breast reduction, but please like I said in the video, all of these things take into consideration and make sure it is for you, because a breast reduction is not for everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and coming along on this journey with me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below any videos you would like for me to do or any songs you would like for me to sing, because I do that too. Turn on your post notifications bell so you know that every time that I post. And that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Didn't leave. Peace out.